You know, as far as keeping my videos real, I mean, I possess the skills to edit my videos that would make me seem like the smartest and the bestest RV tech on the planet. But I'm not that guy. I'm just like probably every other tech. Just, I don't edit my videos to make me look better or smarter than I actually am. Prime example is the video I done recently on the slide rooms quit moving, and the leveling system quit working on that camper. I knew the battery was just about dead, had 2.4 volts in it or whatever, and it was not getting power from the converter to charge the battery. So I really suspected it was in those breakers underneath the front of the camper. Wasn't it. Went to the converter, made sure the converter was putting out voltage, you know, on the wires that go to the battery. It was. Pulled the converter out, just make sure there wasn't a connection back there behind the converter that might be bad. There wasn't. So that's when I went back up front, and I was laying there underneath looking at the wires, and I was like, it looks like those battery cables go right up in the coach. So I got up, looked, sure enough, there was a battery disconnect inside that compartment. There was some stuff laying up against it. You probably saw in the video. It was a really small compartment. I just didn't see it. The customer, she forgot it was there, and you know, I didn't know it was there, and it took me a few minutes to find that. Like I say, I could have edited that video to make it look like, oh look, the battery's not getting charged, boom, went straight to that. Okay, but that's not how it went. As an RV tech or any kind of tech, whenever you're diagnosing a problem, you have to start somewhere and just go until you figure out what it is. You can't start in the middle, and then you can't go the other end. You can't go I mean, I did, but ideally I was just trying to figure out, make sure we was getting what we needed on the other end, and then I went back to the other end and started going back towards the converter. So, like I said, you know, that's just real. That's how it happened, and that's how I videoed it, and that's how I edited it. I have to struggle and make do on a diagnosis just like you guys do. You know, you don't always just walk over and put your finger right on the problem. It's not how life works. So you know, you can't get frustrated. You can't give up. You just got to keep working on it till you get it figured out. That's how I do it. That's how y'all should do it too. Don't get mad and tear up something else just because you're frustrated and mad because you can't figure something out. Don't do that. I had a customer call yesterday. No, today. I left a message over the weekend. I called him back today, and she's like, yeah, we got problems with 3 of our slides. One of them, you know, we've messed it up. We've got the motor wired backwards. The other one, we got this wrong with it, and we did this, and it's our fault. And I was like, good grief, why didn't you quit after you screwed up one? Why did you have to mess up all 3 rooms? So, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what goes through people's minds sometimes. All right, the next thing I want to address is the furnace. I think the title of the video was the Attwood furnace sometimes doesn't want to light or whatever. You know, I went down there with a lot of parts that day. I was gonna just shotgun a bunch of parts at it, see if we could fix it. I couldn't get the thing apart. Flue wouldn't come out. I've got that furnace over here on the back of the truck. We may tear that thing down here in a minute. But every piece of plastic I touched on that thing just disintegrated. And I just did not want to disable that furnace because that's where we was heading. And then the guy wouldn't have had any heat for a week until we could get a part ordered, you know, get a new furnace ordered, a new door, and get over there and put it on. So that's where we was at with that one. Someone had been in that furnace before and put some aftermarket fans on both ends of that motor. You know, and they were, you know, They were probably not the highest quality, and I was really afraid to try and get those fans off because they didn't even have the original clamps that an Allen wrench fits. They had some kind of squeeze clamp on them. Chintzy fans and chintzy clamps. I'm sure there was some kind of universal thing. And I was really afraid to touch those because if I'd have broke one of those fans, we definitely would have been done. So that's what was going on with that one. Let's go over here. I got that furnace over here. Let's go over and take a look at it. So here is that furnace. Here's the door frame. This is literally just in pieces. Okay. This would have been. This is what needs to seal to the side of the camper. This would have been. This would have just been virtually impossible to seal. This would have never sealed back to the camper. And as you can see, there's just nothing left of it. It's just brittle. There's nothing left of it. Here's the furnace. She is an Attwood, an 8535-4, Roman numerals. This is the cover on this the room squirrel cage fan. All right, there's only 4 ears, 4 screws hold this thing on. One of them was broke when I took it apart, and today I looked, the other 3 had broken. Well, no, I'm taking it back. 2 more had broken when I put it back together. I didn't even realize that they had broken. So it was only 1 screw holding this cover on this squirrel cage fan. And there's how easily I just broke the other tab off. So, this thing's absolute junk. Just junk. So we had a new cell switch we were going to put in it. Okay. And then here's this aftermarket universal fan that I was afraid of too. We were going to get this out of here and see if the high limit switch was one of these that's behind this fan. It's still very deep in there, but see, the other thing was I couldn't get this flue off. Let me go grab a pair of channel locks. Let's see if we can get that flue off there. Cause I couldn't get it to budge over that day, and I got it to move a little bit, I got it to twist a little bit, but that was it. I even hit it with a dead blow hammer. Thought, well, if I drive it in a little bit, I'll knock the rust off. Because these flues, it's not uncommon for them to stick a little bit. Usually you twist it or something, or maybe just tap it with a hammer to break the rust loose, and it'll just come right off. It's not just a friction fit. It's not a pressed on item, it's just a friction fit. This one's got a lot of friction. Let me see if that flue was ever going to come out of there. She did come out, but she didn't want to. Now look here. Now this flue is split, and it is split past where it went in the firebox. So right here, this is carbon monoxide that was leaking in the camper. That's exactly what this is. See that crack right there? That is in this flue. Here's where went up into the firebox. So this much crack was leaking CO2 into the camper. Not good, okay? Not good at all. You can see, you know, I mean, I didn't really care just now, but I really cared the other day. I was trying to get this thing out of there without tearing it up, but you can see it's pretty mangled. Let's go ahead and tear in this thing just a little bit further, because I would love to see, I'd love to get some of the firebox exposed. See if I see a bad place in the firebox. Would not surprise me. Burner assembly's in good shape. I'd say that was replaced not so long ago. Pretty sure the customer told me he had this furnace serviced at one of the big RV dealerships, one of the biggest in the nation. We're not going to name it, but you probably know who I'm talking about. And they probably changed that burner assembly, and I'd say they're the ones that put these cheap generic fans on this thing. Let me show you here if I can. You see this clamp on this fan? This probably would have had a metal fan on it at one time, and it would have had a clamp that you would go through this hole. There would be a relief in the fan. You reach in there with a Allen wrench and loosen up the clamp. So I'm pretty sure that both these fans are not original. Now this could have been a plastic fan originally when this thing was built, but still it would be a better fan than this one. Let's see if it'll move at all. Alright, let's go to plan B. That thing don't want to move. Whew. That shaft is really, really rusty. Yeah, I don't think we'd ever got that fan off there and saved it. I just really don't. Nah, I mean, it's already broke. So we'd have never saved that thing. Let's just see if we can get it off there now. I don't care if I destroy it. See, that thing should just slip right off there. Should just slip right off there. Finally, all right. Finally got the motor out with that squirrel cage fan. Way down there is our high limit switch, which was another thing we were going after to change. So yeah, had we been able to get this motor out without destroying everything, we could have got to that high limit switch. Let's get a couple of these covers off and look at this firebox. You'd have to take a whole lot of stuff apart to see the whole firebox. I'd say this corner right here is probably what we want to see. And then actually the firebox looks really good. A lot of times you'll see a crack right here where you know, this is the heat coming in. Let me look, make sure. Yeah, that's where the majority of the heat's at, right here in this corner. So the firebox is probably in good shape. This furnace is almost 20 years old. No, 15 years old. And the gentleman has lived in this camper for about 11 years. So that furnace, you know, it was done. It was the end of its life. Like I say, it doesn't really matter at this point. We put him a brand new one in there today. It's a done deal. I'm happy, he's happy. If you're happy, go down there and leave me a comment. Don't forget to check out all the links down there in the description of this video. And if you all get any value from my videos at all, especially if you know, it saves you a bunch of money on a service call or taking your camper to a dealer to get it worked on, hey, think about, you know, going to PayPal, Patreon, or just the thanks tab on these videos. Show me a little love. You know, it would be greatly appreciated. It would help me to make more videos. Now, if you can't, that's fine too. But if you can, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna go up the road and fix another one today. Mrs. Hillbilly just got home from work, and I expect supper will not be too far away. So that's what I've got planned for this evening. So y'all go do whatever y'all got planned, and we'll see you next time. Actually, I just saw this. You see in the back there, this is the lower side of the firebox. All right, this should be straight. What do you see wrong here? See how twisted this is? That's probably where I put so much pressure on this trying to get that flue out, that I must have bent the whole firebox. Apparently I cranked so hard on that flue that it actually bent that firebox. So that can't be good. All right, just a little bonus material. See you later.